This is Johnny, an American entrepreneur, digital nomad in his mid-20s. I met him through my friend Zack Allen, who's from episode 1. We recorded this episode whilst Johnny was passing through Cape Town earlier this year. Johnny runs Virtue, an AI company that takes AI experiments happening inside businesses and turns them into actual working systems, helping teams automate, work, save time, and ultimately generate more revenue. Because he can run the business remotely, he has built himself the kind of freedom that allows him to work whilst traveling around the world. In this episode, we get into how Johnny grew up and found entrepreneurship, the reality of being a digital nomad, where artificial intelligence is heading, and some of the differences between growing up and doing business in South Africa versus America. This is my conversation with Johnny. Welcome to episode 3 of Black Swan Diaries.
Ooh, this bad boy's getting nice and warm. So, Johnny, why did you come to South Africa?
I think large part just because Zach said that this is his favorite place on earth. That was the main.
Has he
Main
been
reason.
has he been talking about it a lot? Is it like an ongoing conversation or?
Yeah, definitely. This is the gold standard. I think Zach, most of the places I've been to with Zach,
Yeah.
I think he compares to Cape Town in a positive light.
What? Really?
Definitely.
That's what blows my mind, is that international people like yourselves, you've been around and not just on holiday, but lived in places, yet after everything, you still come back to Cape Town and, I mean, where were you now before Cape Town? You were in?
Bali.
Exactly.
Uluwatu, yeah.
It's like,
Because Johnny doesn't know, like brain drain.
oh yeah, it's people. How old are you?
25.
Okay, so people in South Africa finish school, not university, because you guys call university school, right? College, yeah. So school, when they're 18, they finish school, they go to university.
Sure.
21, 22, maybe take a gap year, work for a few years. 25, 26, start settling down. By 30, if you've got education and you got some money in the bank, you leave, because the prospects of the country is like terrible. Well, the country, again, Cape Town, South Africa. So someone like yourself or Zach, assuming you grew up in South Africa, 10 to 1 would have left either after school or after university. Most people go to London, and now a lot of people are coming back because they struggle overseas. But it was a big problem we had for a very long time. Now it's like the other way around. People coming here, never in a million years would we have seen that coming. In a million years. We had load shedding where the lights went off. Like, it was, the lights would go off.
Yeah.
For hours at a time. I mean, how can you operate in a country with that? I mean, you'll get to understand our politics and stuff. It's crazy. So now Cape Town is like become this Western Cape, But okay, cool. How are you finding it so far? I mean, you've just
Yeah, I
landed.
love it. I mean, to your point though, I don't think that if we started here, we would have, I don't know if we would have stayed here. I mean, I think growing up in America, you have this weird inclination to pursue, whether it be business, entrepreneurship, different paths. It's not always that easy. I think it's still not as normalized as I imagine it will be in 10 years.
Yeah.
I think eventually a lot less people will be going to college in America. But when Zach and I decided to, well, he actually has a degree, a 2-year degree. I don't have a degree at all.
Zach has a degree.
He has a degree. This is an educated man. Not only
Zach,
a high school degree, but an associate's degree.
what did you study, Zach?
Business administration.
Of course you did.
And look at him now. He's administering business.
Finish, I'm administering.
That's cheap as.
So to that effect, I don't know if I didn't grow up in literally the town that I grew up in and had the opportunities afforded to me to start a business, have clients there, have customers that were neighbors. Who knows if I would have,
Yes.
stuck around Cape Town if that was the same upbringing. Obviously, a lot would have been different, but
So then, how do you find your lifestyle with, I don't know much about what you do. You mentioned something about AI.
Well,
There's-
it was originally a car detailer.
What?
Car detailer? Do you know what that is?
No.
Like a car wash. I don't know what you guys would call it.
a detailer.
Yeah, we would, when I was 16, I started a company where we would drive around town to people's homes and we would clean their cars in their driveway.
So like in South Africa, no one's ever done that.
Totally.
That is mental, okay?
And so that's a good example of, you know, there was clients that wanted to have their cars cleaned. They had money to do it. And they saw a 16-year-old kid and they trusted them
To
to do that rather than saying, who is this person? I don't know them. And that was my introduction to business and what led to everything else that I've done.
what?
And it was very simple, obviously, right? We're cleaning dog hair and whatever else in
Yes, but
people's
still,
cars.
the model worked.
Totally. And then, you know, after you might clean a car for somebody, they might be a business owner and they might start expressing some of the problems they're working on. And so the
Yes.
exposure was really lucky. to be
Okay,
able
so
to do that.
from day one, you were pretty entrepreneurial.
Yeah, I think I was pretty obsessive about talking to people. I
Yes.
thought when I was 16, money was, whoa,
Yeah,
I can eat wherever I want at restaurants. I can
yeah,
put gas in my car. I can
Yeah.
buy a car.
yeah.
You know, there
yeah.
was, money was a huge unlock for me.
In America, at 16, you can drive a car.
You can
right?
drive a car. You can actually drive a car at 15 in America if there's an adult with you. And I actually drove a car for the first time on the highway when I was 14 because my mom was tired and we were driving home from Denver, actually, where you've
Yes.
been,
Yeah, yeah.
and said, hey, you want to drive? And I said, sure, I can try. And so my first memory of driving on a highway, I was
Was-
14.
That's crazy. Yeah, in South Africa, 18 is the age to get your license.
It's smart. It's way smarter. I think it's terrible that I'm surprised that I lived, honestly.
Flip. And you in South Africa for how long? 2 months.
2 months,
Plus
probably, yeah, depending on, who knows? I mean, super open-ended. I would love to stay at least 2 months because that means me and Zach.
That's how we structure our lives is,
Yeah.
is to be very open-ended. You know, we're in a state where we can shake whatever.
Is it like now you come to South Africa, like both of you now? I mean, because you've done this with other places, it was just like, you know, same scene, different song. Kind of like it's getting the Airbnb, it's getting used to the surroundings. I mean, I guess you're used to this by now in a way.
Yeah, I think there's creature comforts that you learn to go through the checklist of, okay, how is my laundry gonna, be
Yes.
done? Am I gonna pay for that? Am I gonna do it myself? Where am
Yes.
I gonna eat food? Is the Wi-Fi fast in my apartment? Right? All of these different little things that you kind of worry about when you get to a place, but once those are taken care of, I think you kind of have that open experience and get to kind of understand a place. But I've only been at this for the last maybe 7 or 8 months.
The whole hopping around.
Yeah. Maybe 9 months.
Where's Zach? You say 2 years or so.
Yeah.
And how does it like feel to do it?
I think it kind of, for me, I can't speak to Zach's experience, but for me, it kind of feels like a dream. I think, especially with what I get to work on and the
What
people I get
exactly
to
do
meet.
you work on?
So yeah, that's a good question.
No, you mentioned it yesterday to me, and I remember on his vlogs in Bali, I kind of got to know you indirectly.
Sure.
But yeah, what exactly?
He watched, he said he watched almost every daily vlog.
Dinos and I were like,
Oh, lovely.
we weren't. Where were we? We were. What months were you in Bali again?
November.
What was I doing? Yeah, Dinos and I we were my brother. We were staying very up to date, and you didn't do that before. I don't remember you doing it. So
Just did in Bali.
yeah. Okay, you was
Yeah, so I think this is kind of evolving constantly. We work with a lot of different clients in different
Yes.
industries, but the overall picture is that any technology problem, any software problem that a company has, we
Yes.
can help them fix. And so that's the, kind of the entry into how we usually start working with people. I think the more exciting version of what we do is that when clients actually have a new idea for what they want to do with the business, or a new route they want to take, or a new insight that they want to understand from their business that they don't currently have,
yes.
we get to work on them with them and prototype. And so we build software and we build really anything that the client thinks is going to be useful to them.
How did you even get into this?
When I was starting my car detailing company, I happened to be working a lot on my own website
Yes.
at the time.
Yes.
I would sneak into the computer lab in high school and because I didn't have a computer, so I would sneak into the computer lab at lunch and I would build my website. I would work on my ads.
Yes.
I just got really obsessed with it. When I was a kid, I also jailbroke iPhones. This was kind of my first exposure to,
I remember that.
yeah, that was my first exposure to, I think, fundamentally realizing that software is something that you can play with. It's liquid.
Yes. Yes.
And when I would jailbreak my phone, I would show what are called tweaks, which is
Yeah.
changes you make to your phone, your firmware. I would show them to my friends, and their reactions to seeing something they had never seen on an iPhone was so exciting for me and stimulating, because you would just show somebody, hey, look at this icon that I added, on the home screen, and people
So
would just have
cool.
their minds blown.
Just because it's like, it's
Yeah, it's
not-
just different. And I thought, whoa, this is so creative, and this is
Yes.
so tangible and real and accessible. And so that's how I was first kind of interested in it. And then I realized, I think maybe when I was 17 or 18, that whoa, nobody really that I'm around knows how to implement this, and there's actually a business here.
And how long has this been going for?
I started Virtue in 2019, so I ran it for like the last 7 years.
I think an important part is that Johnny is notoriously not the tech guy or the coding guy.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm assuming you are, just the way he's talking.
He comes at it with a totally different angle, which you could speak on.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been really interested in technology, and I love technology. I can build software, but I was never a guy that learned syntax. I didn't know how to actually, write code 5 years ago. I relied on a friend of ours and
yeah.
a developer to really do the heavy lifting development-wise. But our company is super AI forward, so we are purely focused on seeing if agents can do the majority of the work for us, and that's something that we want to have as a competitive advantage. We're kind of making the bet that AI will continue to get smarter in regards to coding.
Well,
We
your-
just have to be able to find the problems for it to fix and just
your
connect those.
timing is pretty solid. If you think about 2019 to,
I don't know. I don't think that's entirely accurate. I feel like it's more that you just are the one that's architecting the structure and the framework and taking these ideas and being like, oh, here's how I would do that. Before it was a developer that you were having to do that, and now it's just AI that's having to do that. But like your job is still the same thing. It's just the fulfillment of like how it gets done instead.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I think I am able to I don't have to translate an idea into another person's skill set for it to come to
you
life.
now have this.
I have somebody that wants to listen 24/7. We all do, by the
Yeah.
way. A 24/7 assistant that can work on these problems. And so I've found that my creativity, since AI has been really popularized in coding, has just gone through the roof. And you just saw it with what Zach demoed you.
Yes, with
Today.
yeah.
I mean, this is like, I was in love with this demo because there's so many aspects of that where Zach had a real problem
yeah.
in his business and thought, oh, it would be nice to be able to search through these resumes after the fact. And now it's real and it's
I
fixable.
think that's the more important part. Is like you're the thing you do for clients is still the same thing. It's like taking these problems and figuring out
But-
how to solve them, and software is just the.
Because we don't,
Yeah.
we the client just cares about the solution.
Yep.
If you've used an AI agent or you use 50 people in flipping Malaysia, like, it's, I mean, coding is a big one that's come up with all these AI things, and now coders are not out of a job, but essentially coders spoke another language. So when you had to use someone who was in code or developer, it was like, I should, it's like a builder or someone who's just, you have to use them, but they're terrible at explaining how to, they're in a different world. Now you can hypothetically get that person, and as you said, talk to them 24/7, and they get to know you.
Yep.
It's quite crazy. It's quite, I mean, obviously such a popular topic at the moment that AI is just taking over, but it's actually listening to like how you guys are implementing it.
Sure.
I mean, I asked Zach yesterday, like, what's your thoughts on AI, which is quite a predictable question these days, but like, what's, maybe like we can close out with that. Like, what's your, I know it's like a lot of people are asking, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I feel really lucky to be at the stage in our careers as we are, on the stage in our business as we are, with the level of technology that exists. I would also say I didn't think where we were 10 years ago was all that great of a place. So I think we're kind of the stepchildren of technology. Computers got really popular, in the 2000s, and, people started to use them, and technology got really popular.
Yes.
And a lot of it got implemented. But a lot of that technology was meant for humans to sit at a desk and
And-
punch in numbers.
Yes.
And for the last 10 years, most technology requires a human to sit down, either do data entry, analysis on a big
Yes.
data set, or just other kind of rote tasks that really aren't that human.
Yes.
And so I see AI as a way to actually do the jobs that computers really gave to us,
Yes.
and so that we can get back to being human and have these kinds of conversations, focus on what we actually want, where we want to go,
Yes.
and then have the computers help us get there. And so there's a lot of kind of doomsday prep
Yeah.
around AI.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way about it. I think a lot of people's jobs will change. But, when I was 8, my dad lost his job in the music business because, the music industry was extremely upset by Spotify and SoundCloud. You know, if you ask him, do you think that that was a good thing? As he uses Spotify every day and streams music now all the time, of course that was what needed to happen. He had to evolve.
Yes.
We all have to evolve, and so
Yeah.
that would be my take.
Yeah. I obviously depends who you speak to, and especially like well-traveled people, broad-minded, with different age groups as well. But it's interesting that people are using AI anyway without knowing it. And they're like, "Oh, I'm not gonna use ChatGPT. It knows everything about me." I don't think my one brother, he was an auditor, accountant, and they were quite controlled with the AI they could use. So he hasn't really had the opportunity to like really use it on a professional basis or
Sure.
a personal basis. And whereas here at work, I mean, our analysts and our investment team, I mean, they just get blown away every single day. Um, but anyways, we need to cut to that. Why is the thing flashing? Is it the battery or is it the heat?